Long ago in a distant land, he, Aku, unleashed an unspeakable evil. But a foolish samurai warrior wielding a magic sword stood up to oppose him. But before the final blow was struck, the theory was cancelled and flung into the future. Now the fool seeks to return to the past to undo the evil that is Aku. Samurai Jack, baby! Yeah! They rebooted Samurai Jack. Oh, when I first heard they were doing this, I was like, seriously, man? They're bringing back Samurai Jack? That's awesome! I remember Samurai Jack. He was cool. Not a cartoon I think that gets mentioned by a lot of people as far as I know of, but a lot of fun. And what was great about it was that a lot of action cartoons, they would be called action, but through the half hour you had about 10 minutes of commercials and 15 minutes of talking, two and a half minutes of the opening and ending theme song, and 2.5, maybe 3 minutes of action. But with Samurai Jack, it was about 12 minutes of action, a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes of the theme song and the ending theme song, and then just a few minutes of talking just to set up the action, and then boom, boom, slice, 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 dash, dash, and it was great. But now that when it was canceled, I was kind of like, man, they didn't really finish the story, and that happens sometimes with cartoons, especially in America. But now that they're bringing it back, I'm kind of curious what they're going to do. I have been watching the cartoon. It's on Cartoon Network during Adult Swim, which I think is a good spot for it, because back when it was originally on the air on Cartoon Network, it was not at that time, and they couldn't do a lot of the over-the-top violence that you would see from like an anime, but there was a lot of cool action. This time, you can do a little bit more. It's not over the top. It's not like, blood gushing everywhere, but there is the violence is heightened. That's for sure. There is an uptake in the violence to it, but it's not done in a way that's like, oh, now that we're on Adult Swim and we can do things a little more extreme, let's just go all out and go crazy. No, they keep to the core of the show, but they do update it. And the story itself, I don't want to give away too much of the story, because I want you to just go and watch it if you are a fan of the show, or if you didn't realize the show was back. It's been out for about a month and a half now. Episode 6 just aired, and I like it. There is definitely, they did something different with it, in a sense that Jack in this season is not the same Jack that we saw in the original run. Not yet, at least. He might go back to being that Jack that we know and like, but right now he is very different, and I like it. He seems to be a little bit more... I don't want to... If I said too much, I would probably ruin it, wouldn't I? Yeah, I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to spoil it. So I'm just going to say he's very different. That's all that needs to be said. Now, they even give him a new villain, in a sense, a new angle to the old villain, but it's good, but at the same time, I kind of wanted more from this new villain. I wanted more. And the story progression has gone pretty well, so I'll forgive it for that. And Aku himself, the original voice actor, I forget his name, so if you know who it is, just let me know. The original voice actor died a number of years ago, and so they got a new person to try and impersonate him in this series. It's a good impersonation, though you know you can really replace the person who did it before. I tried to do that voice, and I didn't even come close. But Aku is different in this, as well, with something you see a little bit of in the original series, but there is some more comedy to him, the few times you do see him. He's not as big of a player, at least in these first few episodes. Maybe he will down the road. And speaking of, I wonder, since this is a reboot, is this going to be just one season and they end the story? Or is it going to be like 2 or 3 seasons like it was before? Last time it was 4 seasons and it didn't end and finish the story. So I wonder if they're actually going to finish the story this season, or are they going to leave it open for a 6th season and finish it then? Or they're going to do like a movie and finish the story? Because this is the type of thing that, I kind of want them to finish the story with, Samurai Jack and Aku, that whole rivalry. But all in all, I think it's a good reboot. I'm glad to see Jack is back. And I can't wait to see where the story goes from here. What do you think? Yeah, this one was kind of quick, I know, but didn't really have much to say except I was looking forward to seeing this, and I'm liking where they're going. Have you watched Samurai Jack, the reboot? And here's the question. What cartoon that you watched from, let's say, at least a decade ago, let's start from 2007. From 2007 back, what cartoon do you think should get a reboot and or sequel? Let me know in the comments. I'm kind of curious if anybody comments on this, or what the sort of things go through their head when they think of this sort of thing. So let me know if you have an idea what cartoon you want to see get a reboot. I got one right now. Johnny Bravo. Let's stick to Cartoon Network now. Johnny Bravo. That he could be like they could make him like a CrossFit bro or a gym rat, that kind of a guy, and it would still be funny as long as the humor from before it kind of carries over into the present day. Guys in the gym sometimes are, just taking selfies. Yeah, that'd be perfect for Johnny Bravo. So yeah, let me know what other cartoons you think would be good for a reboot and or sequel, starting from 2007 on back. So that's all I got. So next video, I might go back to movies. I might do something different, but you never know. So take care.